Davie, what's your thoughts on today's game?
Well, we didn't really play well at all. I don't think we even deserved to be 1-up at half time. It's probably the first time that I'm probably saying that. You know, in patches we've played well in games, but I just thought we were pretty poor, even though we created some chances. We got our noses in front. We sorted 1 or 2 things out at half time, but then, you know, I think we should be good enough to see the game out to get a draw. But it happens too often. We gift a goal. You know, I think the one over the top, we just need to deal with it. It's not like they carved us open and created a lot, but they had a lot of possession, but they didn't open us up too much. We just allowed, particularly the second one, I think it was just a very, very soft goal. So it's disappointing. You know, I feel for, you know, guys like Kieran and Josh and Andy McCarthy are on all day and whatever, and then, you know, you tend to do okay, and then you obviously shoot yourselves in the foot, just individual mistakes. So particularly later on in the game, I don't know if it's tiredness, you know, obviously I don't know what it is, but it has to be, we have to be able to see games out. You know, Airdrie game was identical, although we didn't play well. And like I've said to them, that, you know, sometimes you don't play well and you win games, or you get something from a game, and today should have been that day. But we just, you know, basically gifted them particularly the second goal. We gifted them. We always knew that it would be hard in the second half, but we gifted one in the early part of the second half. So just it's frustrating more than anything, particularly for the boys like Kieran, you know, and Jack when he came on, Andy McCarthy. They just work their socks off the whole time, and they're devastated in there because they shouldn't be on a team that's you know, losing the way we did today.
3 new signings in as well today. How did you make of their performances?
What Ellie gave away, I think it was the second one. The ball over the top, should have dealt with that better, you know. And if you deal with that, you should be okay. Stuart McKenzie, you know, he didn't have a lot to do. As I say, we gifted them, you know, the goals that they scored, and obviously Josh, I thought, was a presence up front. You know, so there's a lot more to come from them, but it's just frustrating overall. Maybe the performance wasn't great, and like I've said to the players a lot, sometimes you're not going to play great, but you have to find a way to grind out results and hang on. And, you know, even, you know, like, we're creating a lot of chances, some clear-cut chances we're creating. We've caught them in the break a couple of times. We've got to start taking them as well, you know. So we can say at the back we were weak, gifted a goal or two, but up front as well, we've got to be more clinical as well.
Next week we're away at Alloa. It's another game where you're hopefully looking to pick up some points there with a poor result today. What's your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, well, I think every game, I think we've now got a squad that should be good enough to go and take points, and not just have to worry about every time you play Clyde. We've said that against the boys today, and you know, Alloa, obviously every game's difficult the way we are, but, you know, we've got to pick ourselves up and go again. And you know, they're not in the greatest form just now either, Alloa, so we've just got to look after ourselves, but we've got to be more tidy at the back. You know, like I said to them in there's no point one player for 89 minutes be different class and then lose a goal. That's just not good enough here. So we've got a friendly game on Tuesday night that will assess 1 or 2 players and see where we are. But, you know, it's getting to the point now, games they're getting less and less, so we have to pick up points. Today is a game that we should have picked up a point, I would have said. Probably didn't deserve it, but the position we were in, and you know, we coped okay with them defensively, but then obviously we just gifted them the second one, and after that it's very, very difficult.
The end of the transfer window is also looming in the next couple of days. Are you looking to make any more ins and outs?
Well, we're trying to get 1 or 2 in, 1 or 2 more players in, but, you know, it might be a bit difficult now at this point. But you know, we managed to get a few bodies in. 1 or 2 have maybe taken a little bit longer than we'd anticipated. Obviously we had Tom Ritchie been recalled, which puts in a bit of a hole on Thursday, and thankfully things worked out with Stuart McKenzie. We managed to get him you know, tied up obviously for a next year or so. So I think that's pleasing, but, you know, I think we'll get stronger and stronger. I think we're more of a threat going forward, and I think when I first came in it was about you know, we couldn't score goals, there was no strikers, but we've got abundance of strikers now, and we're creating something. But the problem that we've always had prior to me coming in was obviously conceding goals, and a lot of people were focused on you know, scoring goals. Like I say, we're creating chances, but the problem is that we're, you know, conceding goals. And I think the tough part is, you know, if you go behind it in a game, it's not just 1, it ends up being 2 and 3. So they're just you know, 2-1, it should have been okay, we can push to try and equalise, but we just lose another one, and then we almost lost another one after that. And I know we're pushing on, but I think we just got to be a little bit more tighter and and we'll get, like I say, during the games we're going to create chances. We just got to make sure we don't concede by the type of goals that we're conceding.